We are rocking and rolling.
We are finally live, everybody. We are a few moments late. Very, very sorry about that. But originally, we were building anticipation.
There you go.
Originally,
All right.
originally, I have a joke for you.
Oh no.
How do you
Okay.
keep how do you keep a dummy in suspense?
I have no idea.
I'll tell you tomorrow.
Very funny. Okay, bro. I'm
Okay, there
feeling you,
you go.
man.
Okay,
I'm feeling you.
that's
All
called
right.
anticipation marketing.
There you go. Something like
Okay.
that.
So everybody,
So,
welcome to our larger community for the monthly open house edition of the Partner Attraction Formula Mastermind. Once a month, we open up our, due to popular demand, usually, you know how that goes. We open up the doors, let people audit our mastermind calls. We have our community members that are, on the edge of looking in, and we have some people that have just joined us. We have some new members to welcome and all. So originally, this is kind of like a big old party once a month that we have.
yeah, no, I'm excited about it. I know my great friend Lars is joining us today, which is super fun. And my brand new friend Kate joined as well, which is great. That's all the way from South Africa, by the way. Very, very cool.
Nice.
Along with a bunch of other folks, and very excited to kick this off and talk about a subject that we know a lot about, man, but it's been a while since we brought it up.
It has been, and also let me give you a little background as to why we're bringing it up. And folks, if you're attending and auditing this, just kind of as a little look-see, we do want to stress that these are actual real life mastermind meetings that we're opening the doors to. And one of the features about it, and originally maybe you can speak to this about the agility of our group, when certain needs come up among our members, we tailor the teaching and the topic of each of our mastermind meetings to actually accommodate that. So hence, after this call, we're working with one of our members, Linda Rash, on specifics about her product launch. And we thought, hey, let's actually cover that for the larger group and talk about product launch management. So originally, do you want to talk about how we on the fly adjust our mastermind topics for our membership?
Yeah, for sure. Because what we feel is that if you're part of our mastermind, we're your partner. We're your business partner. We're your marketing arm. We're your AI consultant. And we want to do whatever it is that you need. And it always turns out, almost synchronistically, that whatever comes up seems to be a topic that a lot of people are interested in. By the way, for anybody that's new to this, the way that works is somebody in our mastermind sends us an email ahead of time. Hey, I need some help with this or whatever. And we prioritize who goes first according to who sends us the email first. So plenty of people are like literally week after week after week, we're working until they finished a project, jumping in, which is perfectly fine. That's the idea. And as a general rule, Hubert and I will stay on for as long as is necessary to take care of everyone, even those who just at the last moment raise their hand and say, hey, I got something. So, where are we going first?
All righty. So let's talk a little bit about product launches. Okay. And so this is a topic that originally and I happen to know a lot about. We don't talk about it much in our day-to-day, marketing and so forth. But it'll come out during the course of this conversation that actually originally and I cut our teeth being product launch managers. We have all the war stories, we have all the credentials, we have all the stories about, press send one email and make almost $1 million revenue, that kind of stuff. I mean, we've kind of done it all, and this is not bragging. We kind of wrote the book on this whole subject matter.
Mm-hmm.
And so I said to originally, let's cover ground fast for our membership. People can watch the replay, people can ping us afterwards and whatever, but let's cover a lot of ground. I'll lead us through it, but also with hindsight, we can reflect on what matters and what doesn't matter in product launches. And now also, in addition to product launches, the aspect of it that originally happens to be a super master at, and I'll leveragely explain in 30 seconds what all of that is about, is there's a particular aspect of product launch management that is the make or break of it. And that's the whole idea originally of the joint venture partnerships, the JV management. You run, the group JV Hacking, wrote a book and the whole 9 yards. You want to give us like a 30-second treatise on why it's so important, especially if you don't have your own list, why JV marketing is so, so, so important.
So this is a book that I wrote with Glenn Ledwell, the founder of Mind Movies, who is one of the big whales in the personal development field and a very good friend of mine. And this is all about the A to Z of how to do JV marketing. So why is JV marketing so important? Because somebody has a relationship, we all have a relationship with the people that we know. If you're building a list and you're in online marketing, you have a relationship with your list. Therefore, something that you recommend to your list is going to get a much higher open rate, a much higher take rate, a much greater trust factor than something that just gets mailed to them out of the blue. So if you have the ability to connect with people, build relationships with people, and can have some type of reciprocal back and forth with them, then you literally can get people to mail for you, and then you get traffic to your offer, and then there's a shared revenue stream situation, and it's an amazing way of getting your business off the ground. We're not going to get into all of how to do that on this particular call in depth, but we certainly can. And as Hubert mentioned, this book right here is kind of the Bible on how to do joint venture relationships, everything from what do you do if you're just getting started? What are some tips and techniques that really, really work? How do you address lists? How do you write to your own list on behalf of somebody else? All of it is covered in there. And it is a really important skill set. And it is always dynamic. So I'm just going to give an example of what happened today, not in the past, today. So yesterday in a JV promotion, Hubert and myself did a webinar. We did a webinar for one of our great partners, Mike Filsame, who we are very, very close. And we spent a little too long, and some of the people on this call may have seen this webinar or been a part of this webinar, on giving value to the members. Here's a cardinal rule in doing a webinar. You have to have time to pitch your stuff. If you don't have time to pitch your stuff, nobody's going to buy it. I hope everybody got that. We're being fully transparent here. You have to have time to share what is it that you're offering to the world so that people can raise their hand and say, I want that. And if you spend too much time teaching and sharing and not enough time telling people what it is that you have and asking them to take action on that thing, you are going to miss out on a ton of sales, a ton of sales. So I woke up this morning saying, so in a 1 hour period, you want to be thinking that you're giving lots of value and building relationship for 30 to 40 minutes or so. And then at that point, you have to pivot and begin to talk about your offer. You have to talk about what it is that you have available to people so that if they've gotten great value from you for that first 30 to 40 minutes, they're interested in what you have to offer. Yesterday, because we were doing something for the first time and it was a very last minute situation, which happens a lot in the JV world, somebody will call you up, as what happens to us, and said, hey, I've got an opening. Do you want it? And I raised my hand and said, yes. Well, I found out on Monday that this opening was happening on Wednesday. So we had 48 hours to put together everything start to finish to do a promotion, which we did, which means we did not have time to rehearse. Critical, by the way, folks. If you really want to do great webinars, you really have to rehearse and time things out. And we didn't. So I did not make the pivot to telling people about our offer until minute 55. Way too late. So I woke up this morning and I'm like, man, I'm not happy with these results. This is not working for me. What could we do to make this better? How could we, And I literally after thinking about it for a while, I said, you know what? We're just going to redo the whole sales piece. We're just going to redo it. And we're just going to insert it right at that appropriate time at that moment. And then we're just going to continue as if it was always there.
For the purpose
Excuse
of the
me.
replay that we're
Yeah, because now we're promoting the replay, right? So once you do a webinar, usually there are more people who will watch the replay than will actually attend live. People are busy. And if you have an email sequence, like we wrote an 8-part email sequence. Yes, we did in 48 hours. We wrote an 8-part sequence that promotes this all the way through this coming weekend. So I talked to our partners, called up Hubert and said, dude, I'm not happy with this. I'm not happy with the fact that we rushed the presentation of our offer. Not a good thing. We're going to redo it. And we are going to figure out exactly where we can insert it. And literally a few hours ago, Hubert and I put on the same shirt that we had on yesterday, combed our hair kind of like we had on yesterday. I made sure my glasses were the same ones that I was wearing yesterday, and we redid the entire offer part. And I inserted it into the webinar that we filmed yesterday at the 40-minute mark, right at the 40-minute mark. So that right after giving tons of great value, there came the offer. And then we just let the rest of it stay so people could stay on and watch more material, get more value. And then we made the pitch again. So the pitch that I made yesterday is now at the end of the webinar, but we redid the pitch and put it back in there today because, by the way, not just so that we get better results for ourselves, but so that we get better results for our JV partner as well. Really important to be thinking about. You got to take care of your partners because they'll then come back to you. Why did they come to us this week on a short notice? Because we did well in the past. And so when you're ready to do that kind of thing, you also want to be prepared to jump in and say, wait a second, man, let's think outside the box. Where did this get off the rails a little bit? Oh, we did not have time to properly time this out. We rushed the offer, not acceptable. Let's just redo it. So we
yes,
did.
exactly. That's
And
great.
I'll report back with results next week. I would imagine that they're going to substantially increase all the way through the weekend, which is the length of the promotion. So this is a micro launch, by the way. This is a mini launch that we had only 48 hours to prepare for, and it runs all the way through the weekend. So we'll have all of the elements of a launch leading up to building value, pivoting, urgency, scarcity, all of those kinds of things, which I imagine we're going to talk about here in a minute.
Yes, and let me reel us back a little bit because we actually dived into the deep end with some pretty advanced techniques and concepts in this story. But let me just reel it back a little bit, okay? And actually, some of the feedback I got from inviting people were thinking, "Oh, I'm not quite ready for a product launch," or, "Oh, I actually don't have a product, right? Because I'm a coach." Okay, so let's actually go back and visually, let's just, in hindsight, drop some of the things that we've learned over the last, 15 years of doing this. Okay, first off, if you're a service business, you certainly have a product, right? A product launch is not literally like an e-commerce type of thing or a widget or anything like that. Okay, if you're a coach, you might say, "Oh, but I don't really have like an offer." Well, you know what? Originally, let's get our members to productize their packages and create either a signature course or a a guaranteed no fail coaching package and bundle it up and sell it as a bundle or a product, right? And I'm sorry, go ahead, Ridgely. I see you're bursting with ideas there.
No, just because I literally was having a conversation with my new friend Kate from South Africa, who's with us today, about this very idea that she has an expertise in transformational thinking and she has knowledge. And it's all about, okay, let's put together who are we going to go after? And then what are we going to offer them? And then how are we going to offer it to them? And then you launch it to the world. And then you tweak and tweak and tweak and tweak and tweak until it finally starts to work. So I literally was having this conversation
That's great.
like a couple hours ago.
That's great. And then the other thing too that I want to put at ease, put everybody at ease about is, oh, I've not done product launches before, so this is not for me. Okay, so originally, what did Jeff Walker say to us back in the day? He said, people, there's this concept called a seed launch. If you've never launched before, if you don't have a marketing list, if you are literally starting from scratch, the fastest way to actually build your business is to bundle up your stuff, create a launch, and get it out there. And originally at that level, it's not even about like how many sales did I get, blah, 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 whatever. It's about how many emails did I opt in into my newfangled permission-based opt-in email system, like an Aweber or a MailChimp or whatever it is, so that you can get going. Now, originally was talking about earlier about, JV reciprocal mailings where, Big Shot A says to Big Shot B, hey, I have an opening, let me mail for you, blah, blah, blah. And Big Shot B is supposed to say, thank you very much. And I will do the same for you on such and such a date, right? But in order for that reciprocity to happen, you must have a permission-based email system, right? And so you need to, maybe you have a bunch of contacts, but if they're not opted in a, hey, let's write some compelling emails, and hey, let's get AI to help me write it, and then load it up into my Aweber and then hit send, well, you don't really have a list that you can go out and, reciprocate with. Originally, a word about how important it is to actually start building a list.
It's critical. You got to build a list. You have to do that. It's so funny. And you have to know how the game works. So literally yesterday, I had a conversation with one affiliate who first conversation I've had with a person. I met them for 1 minute at a mastermind in Boca Raton 2 months ago. 1 minute. And we decided we were going to just connect later. So we met yesterday. And he said, well, let's do a reciprocal. I'll get my JV manager to connect with you. And by the way, she's also the JV manager for Rich Sheffrin, Lane, and a couple of other guys. I'm like, okay, this is cool. Never heard of this person. Email came in today, already booked an appointment. Talking to her in a couple of weeks, see what we can do together, up with a reciprocal mailing in place already. Yesterday, I got an email from one of our good friends who was part of the Jeff Walker crowd, Matt, and he said, hey, would you like to mail for this person that I represent? I immediately sent an email back saying, sure, when is the thing? And do they do reciprocals? I got an email back saying, it's evergreen. You can do it anytime you want, but now's a good time. And to which are you interested? To which I responded a second time. Yes, but only if they do reciprocals. That is a prerequisite for us to consider mailing. Let me know. In other words, you got to know how to play the game properly, because otherwise it's not about just doing favors. Now, yes, once in a while you can do people favors, but think about this. If you have an offer that converts, that really serves people, like our mastermind, it's really valuable. People join our mastermind because it's phenomenal. And we're going to release something new today, aren't we, Hubert? We're going to release something new today. Oh, man, it is ridiculous and ties directly into the launch thing. So do not go anywhere. You have not seen this yet. Whether you're a brand new member or an old member, we're doing a new release today on this mastermind. You got to know how this game works, because think about this. If you got an offer that converts, then that means that every email that you have has a value to it. You can divide the amount of revenue you make in a year by the number of emails that you have on your list, and you can immediately figure out what is the value of an email. So when you're adding new emails to your list, that is what's called currency. You're creating currency, because then you have something to barter with. If I have a 20,000 person list, I can barter with people who have anywhere from 10 to 50,000 people on their list. Or I can say, I'll mail several times for you if you mail to me, mail for me with your 100,000 person list. I can tell you what I can't do, and this is legit. I can't go to somebody who has a 1 million person list and say, hey, I'll mail for you with my 20,000 if you'll mail for me. They're going to go like, no. In fact, it's frankly considered rude. because you got to know where you are in the hierarchy, and you're always looking to do this. If I'm at this level, I want to get to this level. If I'm at this level, I want to get to this level. And how do you do that? By building your currency and by being a nice person who follows up when they say they're going to.
Yes, exactly. And so let me dive a little deeper in and address the fact that, and originally we've all been there. If you're a beginner and you say, I have nothing, how can I get something, right? How do I get my first 100 people signed up? How do I get my first 500 people signed up, right? Okay, so if you happen to have a good friend, and when I say good friend, I mean like somebody who in that relationship you've built up some social currency with, and they know that you're getting started in something and they believe in you and they believe in your offer, you may find it within reason that they may volunteer to mail for you, just to help you out. Okay, that could happen. That has happened before. Some other ways you could actually do that, and this is an extreme example, but originally you and I have, we've known people that have done this. You can approach somebody who's at a higher level than you and say, listen, normally I would share 50%, half and half. Originally, we've heard stories of, please help me out. You can get 100% of the revenue. Why? Because building that first 500 list of opted-in emails is totally worth it, right? It's a long game. The value is in the list. Like originally, and I started saying this 15, 20 years ago, and it's still true today. The value is in the list.
Yeah, 100%. And learning how to build your list and taking care of your list is super, super important. Not a
Yes,
topic for
exactly.
today, but super important. All right, where are we
So
going
so
next?
now so here's the thing. Let's cut to the chase. Our mastermind is about using the tools and the approach and getting our AI ducks in a row to help make it easier. So originally, is it fair to say that compared to 10 years ago, doing a launch today is actually way easier than 10 years ago?
Way easier. Like 1,000 times easier. Back in the day, we had to figure out the pieces of technology. There wasn't a funnel builder. There wasn't an A/B tester. There wasn't an easy website to build. There wasn't an affiliate system that worked worth a flip, right? There just wasn't. None of that stuff exists. Now, all that is literally off the shelf for a few dollars a month. You put them, you cobble them together. You could even go to organizations that do most of that for you. It's so much easier than it ever was, 10, 15 years ago when we first started by a massive margin.
Yes. So let me actually show, and Ridgely referred to it earlier, let me actually show the latest tool, our latest AI wonder that will help you with that. But, and this is again, anticipation, you need to give me 1 minute because I also have to cover a very important concept, about all of this. We talked about the importance of getting JV help, joint venture partner help, to promote on your behalf. Okay. Here's what people often miss, Ridgely, advising. Okay. I have an offer. You're going to mail for me. Do I ask you to mail to my sales landing page about the offer? Not if you're beginning. What I'm going to do is create a compelling piece of content or series of content pieces, a PDF, a video, a whole thing. And I'm going to think through my concept and I'm going to say to Ridgely, I have XYZ that's of huge interest to your list. You're going to mail about it. I'm going to give you the swipe copy, and they're going to land on my page and sign up and receive my series of videos or special reports or PDFs or whatever. In exchange for leaving their email address and getting on your list, these people get information that's truly of value. And oh, by the way, they're going to get to know you, like you, and you're going to also present your offer. Now, that funnel piece is called a lead magnet, and it's the key to building your business. It's not about like, hey, mail people to my page, and a certain amount of them will click. You'll get that initial sale, but the value of giving them getting them on your list is super, super key. And then originally, I'll show you my thing, but you need to say 15 seconds about after you start building a list like that, you don't just constantly hammer them on offer after offer after offer. You have to alternate it with like concepts like loving up your list and that sort of thing. So you've spent a lifetime publishing newsletters and giving value. Drop us a little knowledge about how to love up your list.
Yeah, so a lot of people do follow the following formula, which is give away, ask. In other words, you're giving value to your list twice as much as you're asking them to look at an offer. And that doesn't mean that the offer is going to be right for them, but if you give great content, and then make an offer, then you're doing twice as much giving as asking. And I think that's just a great formula to have in your brain. Loving up your list is all about giving them great value so that they know, like, and trust you, so that when you recommend something, they're much more likely to take a hard look at it as opposed to just delete that offer email, which happens super fast and all the time. Now, we're about to unveil the latest, greatest of our AI partners. We call them partners, right? You have your AI partner, that's your AI PAF AI brain, which of course is the one that generates all kinds of content like executive summaries and avatars of your buyer, plus your limbic messaging, etc. Then we've already unveiled not too long ago your AI partner for generating images, which obviously is an iterative partner, so you no longer need to buy stock images at all. And we're about to unveil the latest, greatest, and I'll let you take over from here.
Yes, sir. Thank you for that build up. So, folks, let me share my screen and also let everybody know if you're not a member, um, along with your membership, you get access to a bunch of tools. Our flagship one was this one here called the PAF Brain, right? The PAF Brain is a one-click kind of starting place where you simply put in a URL of your website, and you can choose an AI model, such as GPT-4, and then you literally choose between all the tasks and marketing pieces that we've actually preloaded as prompts. And you can create a bunch of limbic messages in the form of "we believes" or "because something matters" or "we picture a world where." And so there's all kinds of stuff here about, strategic advice and avatars and all of this very, very cool stuff, competitive analysis. And basically the brain is for you to kind of talk about your content in an emotional way. Now, what we've done specifically to help with product launching, and originally people are going to absolutely love this one. And to the membership, this is brand new, so I have not even put the instructions in your portals yet, but look for instructions on how to use the PAF copy AI, right? Very, very cool. It's in a similar kind of way where you can actually create copy. And what happens is, let me just demonstrate here. You can create a campaign, choose an AI model, but check this out, Ridgely. You can actually choose a framework, and we've seeded it with very launch-friendly assets, right? We can do a short-form sales page, a long-form sales page, help you figure out the unique selling proposition generator, all of these types of things. The challenge model has been very popular, and even the more mundane things, such as the thank you and so forth. But check this out, Ridgely. You can do long form copy in the style of Dan Kennedy or Frank Kern or any of these like known launch masters, right? You can follow frameworks like problem, agitate, solution, hero's journey. So gone, Ridgely, is the excuse of like, oh, I don't know where to start, right? And so you use this, put in your information. Like, let's say if you wanted to, a Dan Kennedy style letter, you click this, and then we prompt you to enter your unique selling position. What are some pain points? And you as the business owner, you're the subject matter expert on this. If you're thinking about launching, you already know what turns your customers, on and off in terms of this. You merely put in all the detail here, hit generate, and then you're going to get a great first draft. Now, Originally, I need you to make this point. The first draft is the first draft. What do you do with the first draft? You show up on the mastermind call next week on a hot seat. Explain for our good folks what that process is like.
Okay, cool. And you got to do one of these, man. You've got to do one of these in
Yes,
real time.
I'll have you walk me through. As a matter of fact, we should do it with Linda because we're gonna be doing that after this session, and that'll be a perfect segue.
Well, we'll do it with Linda in just a minute. Okay, so this is why this mastermind is kind of in the ridiculous category, besides the fact that it's a lot less expensive than most. This is why. You learn how to use the tool. We show you how to do it. It's very straightforward. It's easy to learn. You do the work. You've got an output. The output is going to be very good. It's going to be 80 to 90% of where you need to get to be able to use that output, because AI is that good. It is not going to get you to 100%. Why? Because you need the human element. It's got to look right. It's got to feel right. It's got to move you, etc. So you send an email, support@partnerattractionformula.com. Hey, I'd like to jump on a hot seat with my new product, with my new output, with my new sales page, with my new draft, whatever it is. And you bring that to the mastermind at the next one, which happens every week. And we go over that with you. We tweak it, we optimize it, we help you. We talk about deploying it, what tricks there are to deploying it, all that. And we literally act like a marketing agency to help you do whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. It's flat out ridiculous. And nobody does this, by the way. No other mastermind that I know of does this, where you literally can bring content on a weekly basis, get it optimized and updated over and over and over for the length of your membership, a full year, whatever that may be. And we do it for you at zero additional cost. It's super great.
Very, very cool. Okay, let's bring Linda up and have a conversation with her, because I know she actually ran her things through the tool just yesterday and has some fabulous things to report.
Okay, let's do that. Now, she run it through this tool or the old tool?
She ran it through the old tool. So let's look at her output. Yeah, so brand new. Hey, Linda.
Hello.
Hola.
Oh, great to see you. So Linda kindly just dropped in the chat. She said, oh, she loves the concept of loving your list. That's great. This is gold, over the moon, excited, extraordinary. Thank you so much, Linda.
Totally.
All right. So Linda, we like to teach through case studies.
Yeah.
So let me just mention a couple of things to, those that don't know you. This is your first launch.
It is.
Okay. And you've created a product. Right? And I helped coach you through the product creation, right?
Yes.
And we're now at the cusp of needing, so my focus, folks, is on the user experience of the course, how to get your unique angle on a subject, express it in the course, build it. I've built, Richly, I don't know how many courses I've built. I've built more courses than, I can't even recall over the last, 15 years. Okay, so there's all kinds of best practices for courses. So now, originally, this is good background for you as well, because we'll be giving Linda a private consult in a few right after this call. But Linda has a very robust, very beefy course that is multi-modules, right? Maybe 7 modules or so. Each module has about 4 or 5 lessons in it, video-based. She's great on camera, high value, very, very great, benefits and all of that. The course is all set, nicely packaged and everything. She also created a landing page. And the system, by the way, is Kajabi. So to go back to basics, how she's going to, right now, Linda literally has 0 people on her mailing list in Kajabi. What she wants is to launch this course that she's built. This is her signature coaching program, signature course. It's actually called, I gave her some input on this. It's actually called, Linda, what's the name of your course?
The Linda Rash Method.
There you go. How's that for a signature course, right? So she has a signature course called the Linda Rash Method. Attendant to it and wrapping everything around it is a very unique and incredible framework that she's developed. So everything is about her framework, her courses, her coaching it's all tight and everything else. But what she needs now is the expert product launch management advice. And that's where I said to Linda, this is where you need to speak to Ridgely, because Ridgely is the man about product launches and product launch manager. So Ridgely, that's like the sum total of how Linda has gotten to this stage. And I'm going to ask Linda. Linda, you used our PAF Brain tool the other day.
I did.
And you did a couple of things. If you just explain to the good folks what you did, how you reverse engineered your own landing page, and how you captured that. And if you could even share the Google Doc that you had shared with me, that would be a great 60 seconds worth of catching everybody up.
Absolutely. Yeah. Sometimes when you're creating things, you're like, you're in the forest, but your face is smashed up against the tree and suddenly you're swinging around in the tree like a monkey. That's how it feels sometimes for me. There's so much. So it made the sense to me to take our landing page and run it through the PF Brain and see what does it say about what was created? What sense did it make of it? And how did it nuggetize it and position each of these elements that would be needed? And so I have the output here that I can share if you'll allow me to share my screen.
Please do. And I like the new verb, nuggetize it. That's good. That's a good new verb from Linda. Okay. Part of the Linda Rash method is nuggetizing things.
Nuggetizing, absolutely. All right. So this is the PF Brain output. What I did was I extracted it into a Word document because I was having some trouble with Google Chrome. So I actually put it in there afterwards. But, all of the sections that are in there, the executive summary. And, I have to say, I was like, wow, this sounds really good.
Like, I'm surprised at myself. This is really great stuff, man. Look at my course. It's awesome.
Now, just a quick word to our members. And Ridgely, this is a cool teaching point, because what Linda has done here is actually cool, because she's using our tools actually in reverse as a validation type of thing. So normally people would go to PAF Brain, put in their input to get ideas on what to put on their sales page. Linda actually went and created her sales page and then ran it in reverse to see if her messaging is coming through in the way that she wanted.
Yeah, and in fairness, you and I spent an extensive amount of time with prompts and creating a variety of scenarios to get what landed in the landing page. But yeah, that's how it played out. So you tell me how you want me to navigate this document, but I'll just kind of scroll and not to make anyone dizzy, because it's like having the control and
Yeah, so basically just kind of, spend only 15 more seconds and just kind of like whiz through and just like, what was your overall level of satisfaction with where you're at and how you express your product?
I was happy to know that it came through in a way that made sense. The way that the tool output it, as Ridgely was describing, the PF Brain, it needs some of that human element infused into it. So it's,
Right.
Why choose so there's a lot of good stuff here, and I do need to go through and I need to run it through the filter of, my own personal we believes and what matters to me. But I was very, very happy to see the way it summarized it, because it told me that information was on the page, that it, made sense. So
Excellent. Okay, so let's actually do this.
Messages. We got all these limbic messages that were created by the tool. It's just crazy. This is crazy.
This is great.
stuff.
So let's actually do this. If you stop your screen share, I'm going to start my screen share. And since we have the fabulous Ridgely here, what we're going to actually do is take advantage of that fact. And Ridgely will help drive the new tool. And we'll put Linda's info in this new tool right here. So let me go to the copy tool right here. And I'm going to call it Linda Rash as the campaign. Okay, and then now let's just choose this GPT-4 base model. Okay, so Ridgely, what do you feel like we should do? Should we do like a Frank Kern sales copy type of thing, or should we do just a general long form sales page?
Yeah, let's do a long form sales page, because I think that would help the most people to understand how kind of super ridiculous this tool is and how fast you can get output for whatever you're doing, whatever you're working on, understanding that, again, afterwards, you're going to need to tweak it. So,
okay, great. So let me ask you, Ridgely, to prompt Linda in the way that you do so brilliantly to kind of and we're just going to put in the basics of each one. And and see again, this is the starting point. Okay, so what language? English. And by the way,
It's
folks,
crazy. Notice that you could have said Spanish.
yes,
Mm.
You
exactly.
could have said Mandarin, and it will do it for you in whatever language you want.
Yes,
Super
incredible.
crazy.
Yes. So the
All right.
product name is the Linda Rash Method.
All right, I'll start asking the questions.
Yes.
Okay, so who's your target audience, Linda?
So it's entrepreneurs and small business owners.
Okay, perfect.
And Hubert, feel free to clarify anything as you know is important here.
Good. You'll see. Desired outcome. What do you want them to do?
I want them to purchase the course or enroll in the mastermind.
Okay. So CTA is buy the course or enroll in the mastermind.
Mhm.
And what is the time frame? Like, in other words, how long is your sales page? What is the urgency that you want to put on there?
What do you think, Hubert?
Let's do it right away. Special launch offer.
Right now.
Let's like launch offer. So let's say it's 7 days.
Okay.
And what are the pain points that you're addressing?
So entrepreneurs often face moments of confusion, lack of clarity, and overwhelm, which can stall their business growth and personal development. Reading this right off the
Okay, so read that again. Moments of
Confusion,
lack of direction, and overwhelm, which can stall their business growth.
No, that's good. That's all we need for pain points. So what's the unique selling proposition? What is it that's special about the Linda Rash method?
Yeah, I've got that here in the document.
So notice, I want to point out to somebody why this is so cool what's happening here, right? Because Linda has taken one of our AI partners, the PAF Brain,
Mhm.
run her course through that to create a whole bunch of output. And now she's using one of the other tools to create a long form sales page, inputting some of the output from what she already did. In other words, she's being super smart and using tools as opposed to doing this by yourself on a blank sheet of paper. Old school, doesn't work anymore. No point in doing that. So USP is?
Okay, let's see here.
Just give it to me in your own words. Give it to me in your own words. Like, what is the unique thing about the Linda Rash method?
We're using intuitive painting, abstract painting, as a way to gain clarity
As a way to gain clarity. Perfect.
and
That's
make strategic business decisions.
gaining clarity and make strategic. Perfect. See, that's exactly that's all you need to say here. And so what are the features or the benefits or the impacts of doing this?
Features, benefits, and impacts. That's a lot in one. Okay.
It's not
I would
complicated.
mention the 5 practices of your framework.
Okay. There's 5 practices, a proven practice framework. And I'm looking at the document to see what did it say for benefits, just for brevity, because there's so many. And I liked what it put together here. And solution. Oh, one of the impacts, the solution is, actually, okay.
Let me help you. It's easy. Here's what the feature benefits and impacts are. Clarity,
Yes,
overcoming overwhelm,
yes,
easy decision making,
yes. Direction.
and direction. Perfect.
Good. Thank you. What a great demo.
I'm sorry, easy what? I lost track.
Decision making.
And also, I know it's important to you, Linda, about creativity. So let's add creativity.
Is there a turning point or an epiphany that happens through the process of going through the course?
I have a good answer for that. May
What
I,
is it?
Linda?
Yes, please.
Okay, so it turns out I kept asking Linda, like, what's the big deal?
Yeah.
Right? Like if you were to give me the cheat code and you could tell me in one sentence like what the whole thing is, and like here's the whole thing. And Linda, this is the whole thing. So originally, it turns out that when people are going from guru to guru and method to method trying to find all the answers,
Yeah.
it turns out that you yourself know the answers that are best for you, but normal thinking, it's locked up. When you use these breakthrough intuitive techniques such as abstract painting, it lets you listen to yourself and reveal the answers to yourself.
Okay, so let's make that when you use intuitive painting, it opens you up to reveal the answers that you already have inside.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay, what's the guarantee? We got to speed this up because I want to see people get blown away.
There's a 14-day money back guarantee.
14-day money back guarantee.
Mhm.
And for everybody, just to let you know, certain merchants will require a 30-day money back guarantee.
There's a 30-day money back guarantee.
That's very smart on your part. Correct.
I like
Okay. Offer price.
This is negotiable, but right now the course itself is $297 and the mastermind is $97 a month.
$297 for the course, mastermind, $97 a month.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay. And obviously we don't have case studies or testimonials yet because it's brand new, or do we?
We actually do, but that's okay.
Okay, what do you have?
We have a quote, give it to you, and it is that
Tell me the name first.
it's Maya Weeder. So she said, after painting with Linda, I felt a new profound sense of clarity and self-confidence.
A new sense of what?
Clarity and self-confidence.
Mm-hmm.
I was inspired to launch my new product, which was Dream Mastery.
And by the way, for those of you who don't know Maya, she is a legend in the business, one of the very best female speakers on planet Earth. In fact, best speakers on planet Earth, bar none, and a very good friend of ours. All right, now watch this. It took us a little bit of time, and all we're doing is one click. One click, and now the machine goes to work. Now, let's remember, Linda did a lot of work using our other tool to get the output that she needed for this tool. This is a brand new tool. Nobody's seen it yet, but it is super crazy how much AI can do to take whatever you're doing to a whole new level in literally a matter of seconds. It doesn't happen in 2 seconds, but it does happen very, very quickly. And then once you have the next level, so I'm not going to get ahead of myself. We'll just let this happen. And there it is. There is an entire sales page. So what I was about to say is, and of course, once you have your sales page, where are you going to go to get images? You're going to go to the image generator and you're going to generate the images that you need. Can you take that iClasses demo off that thing, man? It's bugging me. Thanks. Look at this. Unlock your path to strategic businesses in just 7 days. Are you tired of feeling overwhelmed, confused, and directionless? Discover how the Linda Rash Method can help you gain clarity and make strategic business decisions using intuitive abstract painting. Now we're going to say problems and pain points introduction. It lays it out. It tells you where the unique system introduction is, introducing the Linda Rash Method. It tells you where the features, benefits, and impact lists are.
And by the way, it's very helpful to have these, especially if you're learning product launches and this kind of marketing. It's very helpful to have that pointed out what goes with where. I mean, originally in the years where we were learning, we had an intuitive knowledge, but it wasn't until we actually bottled it and really, understood that you need all these various elements like all the time, that you're following a recipe.
Mm.
Yeah, look at this. Epiphany and turning point. supporting statistics. According to a study by the American Journal of Public Health, engaging in creative activities has a direct impact on a person's ability to problem solve and think critically. AI just pulled that out of the internet. That is so ridiculous. Okay. Now, as you can see, we have an urgency-driven CTA. Don't miss out on the opportunity. It's available for only 7 days. Take control, CTA button, enroll now, etc. Then we have a whole list of what you get when you take action today, the guarantee, etc. And now you literally can go back to the image generator and begin to create images to go in here. And suddenly, using AI tools, you create your entire sales page.
Yes,
It is kind of ridiculous.
And you can keep flipping back and forth and tweaking and regenerating and so forth. So it's an amazing new tool. I think it's going to save a lot of people a lot of, front end type of like angst about like, oh my God, how do I even get a first draft done?
Right? We got a lot of comments here. Lars says, this is magnificent, gorgeous summary. Clifton says, very impressive. Bill says, great stuff as usual. Lars says, takes copywriting to the next level. Wow. And you are all correct. That's right. This is the ability. Now bring that back up again, Seth, for a second, Hubert, because I want to point some things out about what you would want to do. Now, obviously, Linda went through the process of first using one tool, then using a second tool. And now when we look at this, we would walk through and we say, I don't think I'm seeing enough limbic messages. Oh, let me go back to my other tool and grab some limbic messages and insert these over here. Let's make sure that there's no AI sounding language, because it used to be, especially with ChatGPT 3.5, it was a little too flowery. It has pet words like ensure.
Yes,
Ensure is
Ridgely
my
hates that one.
100% hate word. I just hate that word. Not only because AI has shoved it down my throat so many times, I'm done, right? And we want to make sure that the, like, say, for example, the feature, benefit, and impact list, is that really correct? Does it feel right? What could we do to tweak it a little bit? Notice that, for example, it says intuitive approach. It said this method taps into, and then it says abstract painting, a creative outlet. Then it starts to go with clarity, direction, and easy decision-making into action verbs leading off the sentence. I might, for example, say, intuitive approach, let's make it an action verb. Instead of saying this method taps into your innate wisdom, I might start as tap into your innate wisdom, right? And then abstract painting, a creative outlet that allows you to express. I might just start at express your thoughts and ideas visually, so that you have tap into, express, gain, stop, say. In other words, so that the language is congruent. That's where the human piece is so important. That's why you come back to the mastermind with your content. And I know this is going to sound goofy, but this is Ridgely's kind of zone of genius. It just jumps off the page at me. I see that and I go, oh, that's not right. We can't have it be one way for the first 2 bullets and another way for the next 3 bullets, right? And I love that. Thank you, Gene, for reminding me of some of my other least favorite things, especially beacon of. Really, man, beacon of is like, okay, sorry, we're cracking up over here. But this is the point. You're going to bring this back to the mastermind so that we can humanize it and really dial it in. And then, of course, you're going to put it on in the right format, et cetera, add the images, all of which can also be done with AI.
Yeah, so I do want to point this out, that we often gloss over. Okay? So the mastermind is all about standing on the shoulders of the other members, right? Now that some of the other members here are literally AI partners that have the sum total of human experience, at their disposal, you are now starting, Ridgely and Linda, at a much higher plane, meaning this first draft already has things like the epiphany and turning point. It already has the supporting statistics. Ridgely, how many years did it take us to actually go and scrape up and attend high-end mastermind and conference after conference to get even that list of the things that you should have on your long-form sales letter?
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Um, and it's going to be fun. And yes, before you flood our inbox with support tickets, please know we will release the instructions as soon as possible. Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Jean, for expressing exactly what I was thinking. You are allowed to use Ensure Art, but ChatGPT is not. Okay.
There we go.
I literally exclude it in my instructions. Okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
So,
So
folks,
I know. See, before now,
yep,
now we're already getting private messages from
exactly.
people saying, "Hey, man, how do I get a login to this?" We'll get it to you. Okay. There just
Yes.
was
Now,
actually
I
a couple
can.
tiny
Okay. So,
tweaks.
a little
So
inside baseball here. The person asking that is our dear friend Bridget. And richly, do you know why she asks? Because traditionally, all the new tools that I get, I have an alpha tester. The first person to get it, every single time, is Bridget. She's
okay.
being a little funny, saying, "Hey, don't forget, I'm always your first person to get it." So,
We'll
folks,
make sure that all of our members get it. So
yes. So, folks, we're excited to show this because as part of our ongoing Bruce is so funny. Is there a tone of voice option for snarky? Yes. Okay. So folks, we're always proud of the fact that we're constantly evolving our AI tool set and not in the quote unquote normal kind of way. We are teaching these things to engage you and the world in a limbic, emotionally based way. And frankly, originally, I think we're the only ones out there doing it to this level.
yeah, it's pretty cool for sure. And it's fun. And it really makes it the thing that this does for me is if you just get over any like, oh, AI is taking over the world, ah, la, 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 get over that and just say, wow, I have a tool chest now. And in my tool chest are my AI partners. I've got one partner that creates content. I got another one that creates images. I got another one that writes incredible copy in the format that I need it to be to do online marketing. I'm just going to pull out whichever tool I need. I'm going to learn how to use those tools and I'm going to begin to put together the marketing that does what? And this is the most important thing, enables me to share my gift with the world. Whatever your gift is, whatever your product is, whatever your service is. And I'm going to make a bold statement that once everything is up and running and ready, we'll invite our mastermind members, those who have a list that is a good fit, and I want to talk about that for 1 second, for Linda's product, to mail for it. Hey, if you think your list might respond to what Linda has, an intuitive painting and whatever, then you might want to be a partner with Linda and you can mail for her course and then she can send you money. It's awesome. One of my favorite things to do is to send people money. I frankly love sending people money. We do it on a regular basis, as in almost weekly. We're sending checks out to somebody from who have mailed and promoted something for us, and we send out checks. And it's one of the greatest things ever. It's fun, and so we will work on getting that done, Linda, and then we'll bring it up on a mastermind and those people who are partners. So I would be jotting down anybody that says something that we would like to play with you, or I want to mail with you, or whatever, then put their name down so that you can follow up with them later and say, hey, remember me, Linda Rash Method, right? All right. Thanks so much, Linda, for playing with us.
Thank
Appreciate you.
you. Thank
And
you
we
for
are going to
sharing.
make this happen. It's going to be
Yes,
awesome.
amazing.
So,
Thank you, Linda. Thank you so much.
all right. Hubert Lee. Really great.
Originally, that was the whirlwind tour of product launches and JV management.
Yeah, man, for sure. And we are having some fun now. If we weren't having enough fun before, we're having even more fun at this point.
Yeah,
So, awesome. I know that we are on, let's see. Oh, Hubert Lee,
oh, I
next
didn't look.
week, baby.
Oh, what
Next
is it? Mind Types After Dark?
Mind Types After Dark. So for those of you who are brand new or have not been with us for a while or just checking in, Mind Types After Dark is our once a month, relatively irreverent moment. We invite all of you to especially if you're in the United States or Canada or basically the Americas, because it's evening here. Those of you who are in Australia and New Zealand, you can have coffee or tea. But the rest of us are bringing our favorite libation, whatever that may be. And maybe that's still coffee or tea. But if it happens to have any kind of spirit content, that's fine too. Gene was like, last month was just delightfully irreverent. I know Gene is a bourbon person, at least it was in the wintertime. I know that. So I'm getting to know what people drink based on our once a month Mind Types After Dark meetings. Super fun. We really have a great time, crack a few extra jokes, etc. So that is going to be happening next Thursday, a week from today, at 8 p.m. Eastern time. 8 p.m. Eastern, which is after 5 o'clock on the West Coast. So it's all good. Bridget
Awesome.
Kombucha.
Yeah, that's great, Bridget. Okay, so a kind message from Kurt. Thank you so much. Thank you, Ridgely and Hubert. Always groundbreaking, useful, and amazing tools and facilitation to empower business owners. Very kind of you to say so.
Yep.
Now, Ridgely, I have a closing joke.
Okay.
Okay.
Can't wait.
You know how much we all love pirate jokes. But Ridgely, why are pirate jokes so predictable?
Why?
Because they just are.
Oh man, you know what? You're just overusing that thing. All right, just saying. All right, forget it. Forget. I don't know. I do not apologize for this guy. He's his own self. All right, love you guys. You're amazing as always. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the weekend, and let's catch up again next week. Mind Types After Dark. Welcome, brand new members. So glad to have you on board, Lars. Hopefully, Kate soon. And it is really going to be a great journey. By the way, Lars has been a good friend of ours for a very long time, and deals with some very big players. So we're going to have some fun helping him to create some campaigns with some folks whose names you know probably, but we're not going to reveal them yet until it's appropriate. So, all right, guys. Ciao for now. Have a great one, and we will catch up very, very soon. You know how to reach us, support@partnerattractionformula.com, but not to ask for codes about this yet. We're going to get those to you. Okay. Bye. Bye, everybody. Ciao for now.